In the New Austin region of Red Dead Redemption 2, players can encounter this wandering man, who seems somewhat besotted by the sun. They can encounter him a total of 12 times in the epilogue, with each one giving us a little more insight to the man. But even with all these interactions, we still know very little. Welcome to the video. You're listening to Phil of Filbee Gaming, and today we're taking a look at the details of this stranger, whilst also delving into some theories and potential references. If you wish to see all 12 interactions with this man, I have a second video on this, which I'll leave linked in the video description and as the end screen to this one. Please be aware there may be spoilers ahead for anyone who's yet to complete the main story of the game. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get into what we came here to see. The Curious Case of Bob Brownlee, Red Dead Redemption 2. When we first meet this man, it's to the south of McFarlane's ranch. It goes as follows.
Hey, partner.
Hey, what you doing, friend?
Wandering?
Me too! Me too! What you wandering for?
No idea.
Man, me too! Me too! Oh, yeah, I'll see you around. Enjoy the sun. It's the one true God, you know. Helios. Nothing else matters. All else is lies. Go, my friend. Find your own path to light and peace.
We learn a few things from this. The man doesn't know why he's wandering, or quite what he's doing out here. He seems only driven by his love for the sun. He refers to Helios as the one true god. In ancient Greek mythology, Helios is the god of the sun, who was believed to have travelled across the skies from east to west on a chariot driven by 4 white horses, providing both light and warmth to the world. Helios was worshipped on the island of Rhodes in Greece, where they erected the statue in his honour, known as the Colossus of Rhodes, in 280 BC. Through each encounter, the man consistently declares his love for the sun, imploring John to embrace it himself. A lot of these interactions play out pretty much the same, until the 9th one, where we witness more of the man's thinking.
You know what I blame, sir?
Blame for what?
Well, for mankind's folly, of course.
No idea.
Have a guess.
Greed? Stupidity?
Artificial light. It's a curse. This... She is our light. Live by her. The fake stuff, well... Oh, every stupid thing we've done has been done under artificial light. I blame Prometheus. I really do.
Okay. Good for you.
Prometheus is best known for defying the gods by stealing fire from them and giving it to humanity. This is the second time the man references one of the gods of ancient Greece. Another thing to note is how he blames the folly of mankind on artificial light. This is something we'll come back to. Although the man never reveals his name to John, he's noted in the game credits as Bob Brownlee, a sun worshipper, so at least we have a name to put to his face. He claims in our final encounter that he doesn't eat or drink anything, and that the sun provides all of the nourishment he requires.
How do you even survive out here? What do you eat? Drink?
Eat. Drink. I've got the sun. The sun is my nourishment. It's everything. At least for those of us who see properly.
Well, I must be blind then.
Very sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
This condition is called breatharianism, which we'll be discussing soon. His skin is burnt badly, and his hair and beard have been left unattended for some time. His attire is limited to just a pair of trousers and shoes. The physical frame of Mr. Brownlee certainly concurs with this statement, but it doesn't quite make sense. This is something else I'll come back to. When he speaks, he doesn't seem to be strung out like some of the other hermits in the game. He seems relatively well spoken, indicating that he had an educated upbringing. In the city of Saint-Denis, there's something which could be a very strong reference to this. A watchmaker's store owned and operated by one J.B. Brownlee, potentially a relative of the sun worshipper. Also, in the town of Rhodes in Lemoyne, there are references at the bank. This may all be related. As I said earlier, a lot of the interactions with Bob Brownlee are similar to one another, with the exception of a few, so there isn't a lot of information to go on, so let's move on to some potential theories. Bob Brownlee stated that he blames artificial light for the lack of sense with mankind, and which area has the most of this? Saint-Denis. The entire city is lit up brightly. With this also being home to the watchmaker's shop, it's plausible to think that the store owner, J.B. Brownlee, and Bob Brownlee are in fact related. The sun worshipper may have worked at his family's business, but after finding his god, he chose to move away from the bright lights of the city and venture out to New Austin in search of a more natural life, away from civilization. Following the theory of the watchmaker's store, Bob Brownlee has several connections with time. He worships Helios, whom, as stated before, is believed to have travelled from the east to the west through the skies, forming the cycle of a day. There are also 12 separate interactions with the man, which may be a reference to time itself. From a life at the repair shop, he may have become obsessed with time, thus forming his love for Helios. His hatred for Prometheus may stem from the fact that this god betrayed Zeus, providing mankind with fire that he had stolen, and Brownlee may have felt a loyalty to the king of the gods. In October of 2016, a young German explorer by the name of Bogumil left his family home and set his sights on the Amazon forest to both fast and meditate. Although his family tried everything they could to prevent this from happening, such as burning his passport and calling the airline to claim that Finn was a danger, nothing was stopping the man. Finn believed that he could live off light alone, that the sun would provide all of the nourishment he required. This is known as breatharianism, a dangerous esoteric concept. He made it to the Amazon and built himself a small shelter in the jungle to live in. Unfortunately for the man, he was very misguided in his thoughts and of course needed real nourishment to survive. Locals found Bogumil at his shelter in a clearing in the jungles of the Caribbean island of Dominica, a little over 1 year after he set off on his adventure. His parents learnt of his death shortly after. Bob Brownlee's way of life seems to have taken heavy inspiration from the tragic tale of Bogumil. The island of Rhodes is located in the South Aegean administrative region of Greece. On this island is a statue in honour of Helios. Not only does the in-game town of Rhodes share its title with the island, there are other references too. The Bank of Rhodes, for example. On the exterior are Greek-styled columns, and the clock above this is in the shape of a sundial, taking us back to the watchmaker's store in Saint-Denis. To give credit where it's due, the connection between the town of Rhodes was discovered by another YouTuber who I'm sure you all know called Strange Man. And in order not to take credit for their work, you'll see at the top of your screen a YouTube card linking you directly to their video on this. I'll also be leaving the link in a video description, which I highly recommend you check out if you haven't seen it already. My final theory on this is that Bob Brownlee is no longer with us. After each encounter, John must wait 3 days before meeting him again, and with a total of 12 interactions, that's a minimum of 36 days. You can survive without food for between 1 to 2 months, but only mere days without water. There is no possible way that Bob Brownlee could have survived this long without nourishment, especially in the scorching deserts of New Austin. When he and John first interact, he'll tell John that he doesn't know why he's wandering. This could indicate that he's a confused spirit who's trapped in purgatory. Finally, in the scenarios where he's atop a cliff, shouting down to you, if you try to follow him afterwards, each time he has disappeared into thin air. It's certainly possible that after the first encounter with the man, he passed away, and each time John met him afterwards, it was nothing more than the spirit of Mr. Brownlee. Today's video was strictly theory based only, and if you have any takes on Bob Brownlee, be sure to share with us in the comment section below, or by finding me over on Instagram, that's at Filbee Gaming. Be sure to check out Strange Man's video, which you'll find linked below. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and share with friends and family, or anyone you may feel would enjoy content such as this. Thank you all for watching. You've been listening to Phil, and I'll see you in the next one.